Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Motivation Monday, February 3rd, and welcome back to an all-new episode of Style by Stevie. I am so excited about today's show, Fashion Dolls. The Grammys yesterday. The Grammys, the Grammys, the Grammys, the Grammys, the Grammys. Oh my God. We have so much to discuss with our beautiful, very special guest today, and I'm super excited to have her here in the dollhouse with us. I'm feeling spring-like. That's why I got on the denim today, and I hope you guys are all doing awesome as I am. So without further ado, hi, Chrissy. Welcome, 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 welcome. Let me share this live with my beautiful, very special guest so that we can get this show started. We have so much to discuss. It is so much that has happened over the weekend. First of all, congratulations to Queen Bee on winning Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter. Long overdue. It is 4 black women who took home the Album of the Year category. And it's Lauryn Hill, Natalie Cole, and also Beyonce as well. So it's 4 black women altogether who took home Album of the Year. Now, there have been others who have been nominated for this category before, but the trend is breaking. Black history was made last night, and I'm here and I'm ready to discuss it with my beautiful, very special guests. Please welcome to the Dollhouse Fashion Dolls, Raven Nicole Thurman. Hello. Hi,
Hello.
gorgeous. It is such a pleasure to welcome to the
Thank you
Dollhouse.
for having me.
You are so welcome. So before we kick off this interview, how has 2025 been for you so far?
Woo! So for me personally, it's actually been pretty well. Just had a movie premiere on Tubi in January that I'm really happy about the studio, and then just been booking like a lot of acting things. Of course, our world we've been going through a lot with so much with the accidents and it's just so much. But for me personally, yes, my heart for everyone else, not so much.
Yes, 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 yes. No, it's amazing. And we're going to talk about your project, Mommy's Perfect Match, which is out. And we're going to get right into that. But I had to ask my sister, how has 2025? Now, yesterday, something happened. History was made for Black women at the Grammys yesterday. So before
Agreed.
we get into our girl Raven here, did you see the history that was made last night, girl?
Yep, I saw it
Beyonce
live
took
in
home
action.
Album of the Year. This has
Yes.
been mentioned. 4 black women. You have
Hmm.
Lauryn Hill, Natalie Cole, Beyonce, and I think it was someone else. They all took home Album of the Year.
Hmm. That was
Dochi as
beautiful.
well too. Yes.
Hmm. That was so beautiful. I loved it. I loved it. And she made a couple of people upset. She made them upset, but hey, she's been 25 years in the game and never an album of the year. I think it was long overdue. Definitely.
Long overdue. And I think it is time that the Grammys gives more and more black women or women artists in general, especially women of color, their just due. You have Alicia Keys also there. You have
Hmm.
Doechii, who I mean took home, I think, female rap artists as well too. And Cardi B presented that award to her as well. So
Hmm.
history was made last night at the Grammys. And
Yes,
it's Black
agreed.
History Month. So it all ties in perfectly.
It does. It does. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So now let's get into you, Miss Raven. Now, who is Raven Nicole Thurman and where is she from?
Okay. Well, I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. Whoop whoop! Shout out to my city. But I reside in Dallas, Texas. I've been here since 15. Moved right before Hurricane Katrina. And other than that, I'm of course a mother, a friend, all these other things, but an actress. I used to act when I was younger, and pretty much decided like 2020, but before the actual pandemic, like before it happened, I was like, you know what? This year I'm gonna take back acting, and I did. But then I had to put a pause to it because of COVID, but I didn't let that stop me. And it's definitely been a roller coaster, but here I am.
And when I tell you the pandemic has affected so much, so many shutdowns, look where we are now compared to 2020. Because I mean, it was difficult for a lot of actors to get their audition tapes out there, even going to audition in person. A lot of things was closed down. So, how
Yes.
did you manage getting through the pandemic, just getting on set?
Oh, so I will say this. I actually took up virtual acting lessons, and I think that was actually good. So I didn't have to get on set at that time. I was still getting my feet wet, kind of getting back into it. And to me, that was perfect because it's a
Yeah.
little intimidating if you're going against other people who are well trained, and I wasn't. So I could do this from the comfort of my home with people who were in London and I'm in Texas. So you don't know me. So if I mess up or if I look stupid, it doesn't affect me. So that's pretty much how I got started. In 2020, just virtual acting lessons. And then I think 2021, then I stepped foot inside of the actual, class. Yeah.
Big difference. And the thing about it is, if you're doing this in person in real time and there's other people watching you, well, even
Yes.
if you're doing it virtually, there's other people watching you, but in real time, you get to see. Like, okay, we'll give you a call back. We'll let you know if you got the role or whatever
Hmm.
like that. That is nerve wracking.
It
So
is.
for you, what is your ritual before going to an audition? Because I know, like Queen Bee, like we talked about Beyonce,
Hmm.
there's a ritual that every artist does before going out on stage or even taking a role. What is the
Hmm.
ritual for you? What do you do?
My thing is music. Like I literally have music. I have playlists. So I have an actor's toolbox that'll help me if I need to like get with like emotional feelings. And then I also have another one and it's called Mama I Made It. And that's just to kind of get me a little pumped up like woo, like you kind of have to like actually go for this role and know that you got it. So that one is usually what I listen to the most. Yeah.
And it's such a reliever to be able to get yourself in a zone where it's just like, okay, I don't want to be nervous. And because it will show on
Mhm.
set. If you're there in real time, especially if you're doing live acting, like I've interviewed a lot of actors who have done live Broadway theater,
Oh
and they say it's
wow.
nerve wracking because if you're doing it
Yeah.
how we're doing this interview now live, they will catch on to it in real time. The audience members will catch on to it
Mhm.
and they will say, oh my God, they will give you their feedback. They will give you their honest 2 cents in
Mhm.
real time. You'll actually hear it, but they'll catch on to it if you mess up or anything. But the key
Yes.
trick is to not let them know you messed up. And the leader
Exactly.
of the show is
Exactly.
supposed to carry that show on. And
Mhm.
you look to that leader, lead character, like, okay, what do we do from here?
Yes, and actually, like great actors, if they mess up, they incorporate that mess up into their acting. Like if you slipped and fell, be like, "Ugh, I'm always falling," but literally,
Right,
you got to improv. So that's where improv.
right on in,
Hmm.
right on in. And she messed up. So we talk a lot about self-care in my platform here, mental health and self-care.
Love it.
My question for you is as a one black woman to another black woman, what with everything that's going on, Raven, how are you keeping your sanity, girl? And what activities truly nourish you and bring you joy?
So actually, let's see. Was it November? I think November, maybe October. I think October. I actually started seeing a therapist. And I have been to therapy before, but this time I was more intentional because therapy is of course therapeutic,
Oh
but
yeah.
as to be an actor you have to know who you are, and you have to know why do you do things a certain way, like why am I always mean, why am I always happy. And so being in therapy will help you get to the root of it. And when I was in therapy before, I was just trying to go for a particular reason and not just going just because. So I was going once a week up until last week, and now I switched it to bi-weekly. And it really helped me to understand like more about my childhood, about me. And literally today someone was like, I can tell the difference in you. And they didn't even know I was in therapy, but they were like, that makes sense
Mm,
now. They were like, the way you look at things is really different. And then also, I decided I was a person, I would take on so much to do. Like, what you doing today? Oh, I'm going to a birthday party. I'm going to a baby shower. I'm going to the club. No, I'm not doing all of that. I'm going to enjoy life. And enjoying life is going out, but it's also, I want to kick back at home and watch TV. I want to just
yeah.
relax. Like, yeah. So I'm prioritizing myself. I'm not being a yes ma'am to everybody. And I think that has really helped me out a lot.
And I'm pretty sure you've seen the TikTok videos of black women saying we are going into rest period. This is rest period for us. Shout outs to Pure Luxe Salon, black owned. Please make sure y'all go and check her out. And I bring these points up because it's imperative in these times that we take care of ourselves, especially with you being an actress on set 24/7 and then having to tap into that emotion for a role. So my next question for you is, do you feel comfortable expressing that emotions openly for the world to see it? Because we, the viewers, the consumers, we go back and we watch the film and we see everything that you have on the inside come out through your character.
Yes, I definitely am, because you never know what that can do for someone. And
Mm,
honestly, it was one time I was doing an emotional scene, and I had a scene partner there, and she didn't know I was going to cry, but I started crying and I could see her eyes watering up. And literally, all I could think to myself was, I made you feel that way. And that's what we're doing. If you're watching, a rom com, yeah, it might be cheesy and give you that warm, buzzy feeling, but that was the
mm,
intention. So I want to make you feel that way. It's unfortunate because sometimes, acting is subjective, it's an art. So you may think Denzel Washington is the best actor, and I may think he's not. It's subjective. And so of course you'll have haters and things of that nature, but you have to be vulnerable, willing to put yourself out there. And with myself, I know I'm not the best, but I'm not the worst. And if I keep trying, I'm only going to get better. And sometimes I have to put myself out there because I need to get critique from everybody, and go get
come on.
better and go from there.
And I love that you said that as an actor, as for both of us working in this business, you're critiqued all the time. You are placed under a
Mm-hmm.
microscope. And even for me working in having a background and working in fashion, for years of working in the fashion industry, everything is about perfection. And everybody picks up on any sudden thing. If you make a mistake, if you mess up, they will catch on to it
Mm-hmm.
and they will critique it.
Yep.
So me, I've gotten to the point, and that was going to be my other question for you. Do you find yourself sometimes going back and watching your roles in the film and critiquing yourself like, I would do mine harshly. I would go back and people ask me, do I go back and watch my interviews? Because I have so many of them. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I had to stop for a minute because at a certain period of time, you find yourself beating yourself up.
Yes.
And it's just
Yes.
like, stop critiquing yourself. Like my brother K Tukes is in the audience right there. He says, "Hey sis, hi
Hey.
Raven, hi ladies, hi to Lux Salon." Um, he would say something to me like, "Sis, stop beating yourself up." And even it takes a family member or a friend close to you to tell you you did great when you don't see what they're seeing. But do you ever
Mm-hmm.
do that? Beat
Oh
yourself up
yes.
sometimes?
Yes, I think it's normal, and honestly, I want to know, when does it stop? Like, when do
Right.
people stop? That's my new question now, because I know I've heard of other actors and they'll watch something from like 10, 15 years ago and they're like, "Oh my gosh." Like, because of course they've grown so much, but that's 10, 15 years ago. How do you feel 10, 15 years later, now in the present? So some things, I mean, when you're critiquing, you'll like some things, and I do, and I'm like, okay, I did good there. And some things I'm like I should have did this differently. But I think that helps me for my next role, because now I can see what I need to work on, and I'm always just striving to be better.
And you're doing it, girl. I'm so proud of you. When I reached
Thank
out
you.
to this woman here, I wanted fresh new faces. And I told him I just got off the phone with my brother K Toots a few minutes ago. And he said, we don't really see any familiar faces this season. I said, I wanted all fresh new faces. And if
Okay.
you haven't checked out her film, please check out her film. She did an outstanding job in it. So
Thank
that's why
you.
I reached out to you, because I see a black woman who's doing her thing, who was out here, who's trying to make a name for herself. And in these times, as Black women, we have to come together with everything that's going on, all the chaos, all the scrutiny, all of the daggers that are thrown towards us. We
Mm-hmm.
have to stick together. So, more than ever, and that's my next question for you. How does it feel to have a village and a support circle behind you? Because you are a mom, and you find that balance with being a mom, with being an actress, with being a businesswoman, and having to wear all of these hats. But your babies, they support you, your family supports you. How does it feel to have just that village and that circle of love backing you?
It's needed. Let me just say that it's really needed. Because I tell people all the time, acting is a roller coaster. You have those high moments and then you have those low moments. And even with the high moments, if you have your family, your friends supporting you, it takes you 20 feet higher because you have them there. Um, and I think with my recent project coming out, I really got to see, oh, these people, they really love me. And you can tell that people are really watching the projects because they can recite things back to you. Um, Even people I don't know, like I'll be out and they're like, oh, I saw this, and it really like it ignites me, and so I really love it. And honestly, within the acting community, it's I never knew how badly you need acting friends, because non-actors don't understand the work that we put into it or anything like that. But if you have a fellow actor, you can ask advice, feedback, whatever the case is. Whereas other people, you can ask them, but they're not going to get it. You know, it's not the same. But I love it. I love my tribe.
And it goes back to what you just said also, which is constructive criticism. And I've gotten to a point where I would stop beating myself up and learn to be open to receive it, because I would even be on a defense end like, why are you
Yes.
coming at me? I feel like people are coming at you. It's just like, no, 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 they want you to be better. That's why they're giving you this criticism
Mhm.
here. They want
Mhm.
you to be better, they want you to succeed. Now for you, we talk a lot about balance also too. How do you find that balance? Because I feel as though for women, there is no rest days. If you are a mom out here, shout outs to all of the mothers out here, there, or any parent, there are no rest days, there are no breaks. So for you, how do you find that balance with motherhood and being an actress as well too?
So, one thing I have to say is a calendar. Like, I have to have a physical calendar, and then I have my mobile calendar. And that really just helps. And then I think more so, like, I know we're only, what, 36 days, 3 days, something like that into the year, is not saying yes to everything. You can't. So if I can look at it and I can see, hey, I have the ability to do this, hey, I don't, or hey, my daughters, they have something going on to say, I'm gonna have to say
Mm,
no. Because I have to think about their schedules as well too. And I don't want them feeling left behind or left out, or like their lives aren't as important because I have something going on. So it takes a lot. You have to learn how to say no, and it's okay to say no. And that was something I think kind of new for me, because I was always like, yes, yes, I can do it. I can do it all. Like I would go to a baby shower and be there for 15 minutes because I have to be on set in an hour. But I wanted to come to your baby shower. I should have just not came. It wasn't that serious. But yeah.
but that's the nature of being a woman, because we are able to wear all of these many hats and do like, I just had this conversation. It's so crazy that we're
Hmm.
talking about this now, because we have these type of conversations with our mothers. And I just had this conversation with my mom not too long ago. I had to help her get her stuff situated, help her get her appointments and things together.
Hmm.
And then she was cooking too.
Oh
So when I
wow.
tell you, it's like she was running around with the chicken like without a
Yep.
head cut off, and I was like, okay, you cooking, you doing this. I had to help her as well too, because I'm just waking up. I woke up kind of late this morning at like 9 or so, but was on time for this interview, came right on, message Raven. I said, girl, I'm done with glam. And we're women, so it takes us a little bit
Hmm.
longer to get ready. I can see if I'm interviewing a male guest and I had to, they were like, okay, I got to be on set, I got to do this.
Hmm.
But with women, so it takes us a little longer to get ready. And I was saying, why don't you let me help you with some of this stuff? So she just like, I feel like everything is on my back. And as a mom,
Wow.
or any parent, you feel like everything is on your back because you're having to balance all of these things out. You've got work, you've got the bills and everything to worry about.
Hmm.
You got to make sure that the kids are fed, picking the kids up from school. It's a lot, I understand.
Hmm.
And I have an 11-month-old nephew now. So
Oh.
when my mother warned me and my brother and my sister, anybody in the family, I don't have kids, I have a fur baby. So
Hmm.
even with that, I have to make sure that she's taken care of, that she's fed, cleaned up after, gone outside to do her business.
Yes.
The same for a
Yeah.
child. So
Hmm.
my mother warned us, and our parents all have warned us, you gonna feel it when you have kids.
Hmm.
The curse hadn't come to me yet. I don't have kids, but Auntie Stevie is here to babysit if you need her. But that balance. It's like we try to take on so many things and we can get it done and just like that, but it takes a village.
It
So for
does. It
you,
does.
when you're on set, I'm pretty sure you have to call your mom and your family relatives and be like, okay, I need you to watch the girls for me.
Yes,
It's
for
a lot.
sure. For sure, for sure. Because with being on set, they'll always say like, "Oh, you'll probably wrap around 5, and then you're
And
there
it's
until midnight."
a little bit longer. Yeah.
Yes. And so I have to make sure that they're good, they're taken care of. So I always have to have, I try to do a plan A and a plan B. Just in case something slips up, I have somebody back door who can assist. Because if I'm on set, I don't want to take my mind off from being on set and being worried about, my girl's safety or whatever the case is. So I always try to have two plans, and that really helps out a lot too. Plus, I think I'm really good at communication, and so I kind of outline everything. I'll say like, "Hey, after being on set today from 10 to 5, it might run later, maybe 12 at the latest. This person said they'll pick them up just in case they can't. Can you? Blah 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 blah." And that helps out a lot because once you're on set, your mind needs to be locked into being on set. You need to know those lines. You need to know your character. You're not thinking like yourself, and it's kind of hard when you're texting someone in your personal life, but you're on set portraying another life. It doesn't go hand in hand.
And again, it goes back to being an actor. Any actor knows this, that you have to separate the two. You don't bring the character home. That character stays on set. And a lot of actors get to the, even on set, it's personal for them. They're method actors and they bring that emotion with them. And the character sometimes they don't mean it they don't mean it intentionally. The character just follows them home because you're in that mindset for so
Mm-hmm.
long. And this director, it goes away when the director yells cut
Yes.
and scene.
Yeah.
You've got to
Yeah.
redo it. But sometimes it
Agreed.
just happens when you're in character mode still
Mm-hmm.
and you're talking like the character. You ever find yourself doing that?
Oh my gosh, yes. So I remember we were on set and we were filming, and the scriptie, she was like, those weren't the words, and it was like I blacked out. I didn't even know, but the director was like, it was fine, that was perfect. And I was like, wow, it was like a outer body experience. Like I didn't even realize all of that happened, but I literally was like, I think this is something that the character would say, and it worked. Yeah, so I was just like, what? And I felt so bad because I know my lines, but I was just tuned in. And sometimes that happens.
It sure does. And I think it was Kiki Palmer. Kiki Palmer played a role, and she said, "I followed this character, followed me home." And her family members were looking at her crazy, like, "Girl, why are you talking like this?" And she's like, "I forgot. I'm not on set anymore." But it happens though. So
And
you
you know
have to
what,
turn it
too?
on and turn it
I
off.
I was preparing for a role, and my oldest, she's in high school. She was on the phone, and the role, I was a crackhead, and so I talked to a friend who dealt with that, and I was like, you know what? I'm a crackhead. I love crack, and I'm yelling it, and she's on Facetime with her friend. Her friend is looking like, your mom does crack, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm an actor. I do not do drugs. I was just trying to rehearse, and she was like, no, I get it. But yeah, that was kind of funny.
And it's hilarious because they don't know how to take it. They don't know it. But when they're on set and they see what you're doing, you bring them to set and they see it. And it's just like, okay, now I get you. Now I understand why here. So,
Exactly.
absolutely. So, for you, what does peace look like for you? As a Black woman in the midst of chaos, what does peace look like to you? Because I know we all have to maintain our sanity with everything going
I would definitely say laughter. Like I love
on.
fun. I love good times, and nothing gives that to me more than laughter. We can't be serious all the time. Also, to enjoy the simple things. Like it's warm today. Like let's get some of that vitamin D. Let's look at the sky. Let's look at the birds, the ducks,
Yes.
the simple things, simplicity. Like literally, and we can't control everything, and you have to be okay with not controlling everything. And even if you mess up, reflect and think, what could you have done differently, and try to do that tomorrow. It's so simple, but we make life so hard.
Absolutely. And we intake so much. My guest last week, Ryan Keith, who I've interviewed, and that
Hmm.
was my show for I think Thursday. No, it was
Okay.
Thursday last week. and we touched on unplugging. That was one of the points
Mm.
that we made when we had our conversation.
Mhm.
Sometimes you have to unplug. It's just too much. Like, girl, when I tell you over the weekend, because yesterday was Sunday, the Grammys was on, so much in the news and in the world going on, the wildfires, all of these things, just like, oh my God, I can't keep up.
Yeah,
It's like a world tornado coming at you. So
it
what I
is.
had to do literally was put my phone on D&D, do not disturb. And when I went back and I checked my messages, phone calls, family,
Hmm.
anything other than that. I checked to see my posts, and I'm just like, okay, for the rest of the evening, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
watch movies. I'm so
Hmm.
relaxed today because I've learned that sometimes you have to unplug.
You
We
do.
can't help it. And even when you're sub to someone's YouTube channel, the notification will pop up at
Hmm.
the flash top of your phone. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna have to mute this too.
Yeah.
And just be careful what you intake because what you
Agreed.
intake reflects
Agreed.
on the
Hmm.
outside. And in these times, it's going to be a lot for us. So it's important that we maintain our sanity. So for you, what does a day of self care look like for Raven? What do you do? Because I know me, I love to pamper myself. I love to write. I love to indulge in I love
Hmm.
candles. I
Yep.
love perfume. I love all sorts of things like that that keep me relaxed, that keep me zen. So
Yes.
for you, what does self care look like?
Okay. So with me, self-care, I'm not gonna lie, it's being selfish. So I like to be at the house by myself. I just want me time. I want time with me. I don't want to be on the phone. And I like to clean. I want to make sure because I feel like if the place isn't clean, your mind isn't clean. It kind of gets to you.
Ooh,
So I have to have my place clean. I have to have my candles going. And then I like to watch TV while drinking something. I gotta have a little drink. And yep, there we go. And music. Sometimes it might be TV, but it'll go to music. And if it's TV, it's literally like a movie, a scripted show, no reality, nothing like that. Yeah, yeah.
you just said something that stood out to me, which is basically sitting back, relaxing, and cleaning. Now, you said cleaning. That stood out to me because there's a woman literally out here by the name of Marie Kondo, and I'm pretty sure you've seen her. I'm just going to say this. She is changing people's lives. Now, over the weekend, because I'm glad you said
Hmm.
cleaning, I went through my closet and I organized my clothes and stuff. I'm like, I got so many clothes laid around here, so many outfits, dresses I don't
Yeah.
worn up for the show. Let me go ahead. And that's another thing we can be doing as well, too, because cleaning is a form of self care. And Marie, when she does it, she organizes people's closets and because we hold on to
We do.
things from people we
We
love
don't
in
know
our
how to let
lives.
go.
Yeah, and we don't know how to let go. And one thing she will ask you is, what purpose does this serve me? Why am I
Mm,
holding on to
I love
this?
it.
That is one of the questions she will ask you. And she'll say, okay, now it's time to let go of this item. Don't hold on to it anymore.
Wow.
Now it's time to let go of it. So she is literally changing people's
I love
lives.
that. Yes.
Yeah, her name is Marie Kondo, and
Okay.
I've heard so much about her from TikTok and everywhere. Like her videos go viral, and what she does is she basically cleans, and when she does it, it's like a blank space. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like you're starting over
Mm-hmm.
because we have so many things in
I,
our closet all
I
over the
like
place.
that.
But
I like
she'll
that.
ask you, do I really need this? Why am I holding on to this? It could be from our ex-boyfriend. It could be from anything because we hold
We
on to
hold on
things because
to
they're
things,
sentimental.
and we have to learn how to let
Exactly.
go. They serve their purpose, and it's done. Let it go. Move on, and that way you can also make space for the new thing.
Absolutely. And when
Hmm.
you get new things, it's like a new start, it's a
It's
new beginning for you.
loves
For a
it.
lot
Hmm.
of us, just like how we came into 2025 and we're still here, we're still alive, we're still
Thank
thriving.
God.
That's because we're getting rid of the things that no longer serve us purpose. We don't
Agreed.
need it anymore.
Agreed. Agreed.
So it's important for self-care for these times. Now for you, how does the breath feel? How do you breathe? How does breathing feel for you?
Wow. So it's so funny that you're bringing this up because the month of January, I learned that one, I talk too fast. So I'm trying to slow it down. And I've been trying to focus on breathing and talking from the diaphragm.
Ooh.
And so, yeah, because usually when I talk, I'll da 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 da, and then I go, because I have to catch some breath, some air. So I'm just trying to be more conscious of it too, like breathing in and breathing, exhaling, good and bad energy, things of that
Yeah.
nature. Yeah. And it really helps a lot, like with everything, talking, acting, just everything. So yeah, that's funny you brought that up.
And I do it the same thing too. And even with writing for Original Magazine UK, I call her my boss lady. She's from the UK, and she's just like, you got to slow it down because I do things fast sometimes too, and I have to catch myself. And even when I had her here on the platform, she just like, could you slow it down for me so I can understand clearly for you?
Yeah,
And even for me, it's a mental thing when you take the time to do it because we're now in a day and age where it is
fast.
catch up, and everything has to be done extremely
Mhm.
fast. Instant like, instant this, instant that. Everything has to be done fast. So we have to make sure that we are slowing down
Mhm.
and being still and in the moment.
Yes.
And you know who said that? Jackie from Sister Sister. She
Okay.
said the same
I
on
love
227.
her.
She said the same thing. When she played Sandra on 227, she said before going on set, because you know they have their dressing rooms and things, she said I would practice the art of stillness. And I would sit in that moment and I would just take it all in, like, wow, is this really happening to me? Like, God, send
Wow.
me a message, send me a
Mhm.
sign, and take it all in, be present and be still in the moment. So for me,
Yes.
first thing when I get up in the morning, I talk to God and I have my affirmations right there. I am courageous and I am afraid of nothing is one of my affirmations.
I
So
love
any
it.
challenge that God brings my way, because we all have obstacles and challenges. But the thing is, how do you overcome them? And sometimes it can be a test. My mother told me that yesterday. I was upset about everything that's going on in the world and how we feel powerless and helpless. And she just like, well, what can you do about it? You can talk to God about it. You can talk to
Mhm.
people about it. You can make change. You can be the voice for those who don't have a voice,
Yeah,
and you
exactly.
can organize. That's
Yep.
what you can do. My mother told me.
That's very true. That's very true. I like that. I'll say this
And
with me. I've been trying to this year. I've just been trying to be more intentional with things that I'm doing, and
oh yeah,
so I'm not trying to get on my phone immediately. I have what is it called? Limits on my apps, so I'm not on it all day. So in the morning when I get up, I do a devotional. And then I'm a very positive person, so I try to read like positive,
um,
like things of the day or quotes of the day, things like that. So I can go ahead and like, have a good start, like a clear head mindset. And it's funny too because I remember one bad thing happened recently, like one day, and I had been having such a good day, and then this bad thing happened. And I was like, it just felt like it was trying to take over my day. And I said, no, it's not. Because I was just having a good day. I'm not going to let this one thing ruin it. And so it really is mind over matter. Like, if you can literally just, sometimes you have to talk yourself off the cliff, off the edge of the cliff. And yeah, you can determine it. It's up to you. It's how you perceive it, half full or half empty.
and that's another thing. You can't pour from an empty cup. We run so much energy out here these
Mm-hmm.
days. We give so much of ourselves to the world. It's human nature, especially for me and Raven and to my fashion dolls, for anybody who's working in this business. You're giving so much of yourself, you're in demand. So it's just like we got to make sure that we're taking time and preserving ourselves because you cannot pour from an empty cup.
Mm-hmm. Because if you do, you'll
You'll
be
burn
empty.
yourself out.
Nothing
You'll
left.
burn yourself
Mm-hmm.
out.
Agreed. Agreed.
So you have to make sure that you are taking time for yourself. Self-care is definitely a must. And I'm glad you brought up saying no. The question is, when are people saying no when necessary? Because like Raven said in the beginning of our conversation, she said that she was always a yes girl. Yes, yes, yes. But there is power in no.
There
And I'm
is.
gonna tell you a little story. There's a guy who did a TED Talks
Mm-hmm.
and he was pitching something to a pharmaceutical company. And the company told him, no, no, you're not what we're looking for right now. Even if you're going in for a script or a role, the casting director could tell you, no, we've already seen enough of this character. Go for another one. Get the script for this character right here.
Mm-hmm.
We've already seen enough. And it could be no in that moment, or it could be no right now. Come back. Because see, there's always a blessing in that no. I believe that no is on spelled
Ooh,
backwards.
I
And
agree
I'm
with
a
you.
Scorpio. So when people try to challenge me, I'm like, I'm challenging too. I'm going to give you just what you want. I'm going to give you that. So
I
I love
love
to
it.
have them running in circles. My mother's a Libra. I'm a Scorpio, and we are very passionate about what we do. Not to get into astrology, but you
Oh,
have to
that's
have that
fine.
type of energy.
Yes.
You have to have that type of energy where somebody tells you no. And even when we were children, we would be competitive with our siblings. I have four brothers and two sisters.
Oh wow.
And there wasn't really rivalry because growing up, if you have siblings, you know there's like a sibling rivalry, like who can get mom's attention, who can get dad's attention, who can make mom and dad proud and bring home the best grades in school and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. Well, we all were on the straight and narrow path. Father served in the military, and my mom was working. She's a cashier. So it's just like, okay, we got to do this the right way. They put
Mm-hmm.
their faith in us. They want us to come home with good grades in school. So even if they tell you when you were younger, when you would go in the store, you would pick up everything, and your parents would tell you what? They would
No.
tell you no, you
Mm-hmm.
can't get it. That means no. They mean that they standing on business with
Okay.
that. But as you grow older, these no's help you build in your career and your life. So it
Agreed.
could be no, not right now. And then you get that toy that you wanted for Christmas as a surprise.
Right?
You never know. Or sometimes
Exactly.
people rip the package and try to rewrap it and stuff and take
Yes.
a peek to see what it was. But
Yes.
we know we got it could be no, not right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Agreed. Agreed.
take that no and let it fuel you. No is on spell backwards.
Oh,
And
I
when
love
somebody tells me
that.
no, tells me no, oh no, you're not what we're looking for right now. Come back and go to this. I say, watch me.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Seriously. I'm gonna post
You
that
won't.
today.
I'm telling you, and I kept saying it. No means on spell backwards. So whenever, and I've had people come on this platform and say, "Well, hey, I didn't get this role right here, but guess what happened the next few days? I was out of town, and I got an email for the script saying da 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 da, and I
Hmm.
got a role on BMF, and I've had actors manifest it right there.
Wow.
There is power in manifestation, y'all.
There is.
I'm
I
telling you.
agree. I agree. And that's something I did this year as well too. Like I just that's another thing I'll do on my self-care days is like focus on
Mm,
me and what do I want? Because sometimes people don't know what they want. And not only that, write it out. Because when it manifests later on, you can refer back to this and be like, "Wow, on December 20th, 2001, I said this, you know?" And now you're living that. So I love that. I love that. And then also with you saying about no, so I actually have two stories. One, I went to an audition. It was in person, and I could tell that they liked me because they kept having me to perform with other actors. But eventually, they sent me home, so I didn't get it. But later on, I got another project with them, and I did have to audition for it. But the producer said it wasn't just this audition that got you this role; it was your previous one as well. He was like,
mm,
both of them were so good, and I'm actually happier I'm on this project than the other project. Like, yeah, that one wasn't for me, and sometimes it's not for you. So that was a good no. And then I also had another one where I was auditioning for this really well known actors project, and it was just the energy. And I'm not gonna lie, I did bad that day too. I did me. But that no was actually a protection because
mm,
he just had some bad juju. We'll just say that.
mm.
And I didn't need to be exposed to that. I didn't need to be around it. And I was heartbroken. Like I was boohoo crying. My kids saw me crying because that's how badly I wanted it. But God knew like not to put me in that area. So no can be, your protection.
And I've heard people say this before. Rejection is God's protection. He
Hmm.
is protecting you from something. He is shielding you
Yep.
from something or someone
Yep.
and
Hmm.
saying, hey, this is not right here. And you know how we get that gut intuition, that gut feeling, that instinct, like, okay, something is coming. I'm manifesting it. And I do
Yes.
vision boards. So almost everything that I put on my vision board for this year of 2025 is now coming full circle in hand for me.
Good.
And I'm doing a mental checklist every day as I look at that board and I go towards my couch.
Hmm.
It's a mental checklist. Like, okay, I did this, I did this, I did this, I accomplished
Hmm.
this, and still accomplishing more. And it's all because I put the pieces of my life together. And when you do those vision boards, you're flipping through magazines, you're flipping through, and you're like, okay, what do I want to work on in 2025? what I worked on in 2024 last year was marketing myself
Mhm.
more. And shout outs to my brother K2. He was just like, put your channel out there,
Mhm.
put your platform out there, let people know about you. And because of that, when we spoke on the phone today, he was like, Sis, are you aware of this? Because he checked my analytics. And he's like, people are watching you.
Okay.
People are watching you. I said, I don't pay attention to the viewership. I pay attention to the message at hand and making sure that people get the knowledge out here that these guests that I have on my
Mhm.
platform are giving to them. It's free and it's vital for anybody who wants to become an actor, an actress, start a business.
Mhm.
And these things are not easy. You have to train, it takes dedication and
Mhm.
consistency. And I'm blessed to say that I've had no sick days in the year of
Wow.
2024 or 2025 with
Okay.
doing this platform. It's been consecutively every day, Monday through Friday, and
Wow.
even some days when I get a day off. I give thanks to God for that. Not being
Amen.
sick, there are days when I'm tired because our bodies do get tired, but
Yes.
I know when to stop. But it's
Mhm.
just like help it. We got to keep going. That human nature, that instinct inside of us that said, okay, I got to keep going. I got to
Mhm.
keep going. And one day K2 told me something on the phone, and then my mom told me, she was like, okay, you're gonna be irate, you're gonna be tired, you're gonna be this. You booking all these interviews out far out for May and June and all of this, that, and the third, you're gonna get burned out. And I'm just like, okay, I know my limit. So even though we're grown adults, we still hear the words of our mother
Yep.
in the
Because they
back
know
of our
best. Mother knows best.
instantly. They know everything. She just said, you're going to get irritable, you're going to get tired. And I haven't gotten irritable, or tired, or cranky yet. But sometimes we do. It
Mhm.
pays to listen to our
It
parents and our
does. It
elders. And my
does.
grandmother, who is 80 years old, I'm thankful to have her here. Thankful to have her here. And she says, this is what she always tells me. She
Mhm.
said, your blessing is coming if you keep continuing to do the
Aw,
work.
that's true. That's true. You just have
And when,
to be patient.
oh,
And
yeah,
that's the thing. Some people don't want to be patient. And like you said earlier, we're in such a world where everything's fast. And if it takes too long, people then quit. And you never knew if you would have just kept up a little bit longer, it was right there.
right there in front of you. God is
Yep.
putting that blessing right there in front of you. And in
You just have to be
2024,
patient.
oh, I hit one of my biggest accomplishments, and that was 700 interviews.
Oh, wow.
700. And we are still going strong, still going strong. I said, well, give me more. God, give me more. Put more in my hand, put more in my
Hmm.
favor, but don't want to put the cart before the horse. When it's
Hmm.
God's time, and you will
Everything
know.
will align. And not a moment before then.
Absolutely. I'm telling y'all have to have faith.
Agreed.
And y'all have to have faith. With all of everything that is going on, he's taking us
Especially.
through this for a reason.
Hmm.
Taking us through
Yep.
this
Agreed.
for a reason. It's a
Hmm.
test. This is a test, y'all. God won't put more on you than you can bear. And he gives some
Mm-mm.
of his hardest battles to his soldiers.
Yeah.
And we are his soldiers because guess what? We're still here. We are still
Okay.
surviving. You woke up this morning,
Yep.
right?
Amen. Amen. That is a blessing.
So now's not a time to feel hopeless or despair, which I know a lot of us feel sometimes, but it's just like pick yourself up. You're gonna be all
Hmm.
right because God has taken us through the worst.
Yep.
I
Yep.
mean, from hurricanes, tornadoes, winter weather, snow,
Hmm.
which I would have never thought we would have gotten snow down here in South Carolina. Barely. We've had blackouts from the power and things, and it will come back on that exact day, but snow back to back.
I know, right? Yeah.
It's
A lot of
crazy.
things have changed. Yeah. This 2025, we've seen a lot.
God makes things happen. I'm telling y'all, my grandmother, she said that same exact day we got snow. And then just like it was going away, it was ice. And she's like, another storm is coming. And we got snow another day. So I'm just like, okay. And I still have
Wow.
those snow pictures. It was so pretty. I was like, this is beautiful.
But you
It's
know
like
what that
nothing I've never
also
seen
did?
before.
What I realized? Because the snow affected a lot of areas, you got to see people slow down because they couldn't go
Ooh,
out.
that put a
They were
pause
stuck in
on
the
everything.
house. And
Mhm.
so also too, they were forced to go outside and actually enjoy it. Have a snowball fight, whatever the case is, like be a kid again, take a break from life. So that was a beautiful thing about it too.
Absolutely. And to see people share pictures and videos with their children, having fun,
Mhm.
celebrating, because we are now in a day and age of,
Mhm.
I gotta get it. I
Yep.
gotta get it in this moment. It's gotta be in an instant. And the
Mhm.
kids are even hooked on to the video games, their
Mhm.
phones, their tablets, to be able for them to go outside and play in the snow and see them make snowmen and
Yeah.
snow angels and all sorts of stuff
Mhm.
and fall down in the snow. And even for us as grown-ups, as adults, to be able to take in those memories with
Yes.
them. Build
Yes.
memories in 2025. And we talk a lot about legacy here on my platform
Mhm.
too. It's important that we build legacy for the next generation
Agreed.
to come, and that we continue to help encourage them, be there to be vigilant and encourage them along the way, and then support what they're doing.
Exactly. I agree with that.
Absolutely, y'all. So, do you feel like your battery is constantly charged? Because, like I said, we're always on the go. It's like red light, green light,
No.
okay, yellow, stop.
Not at all. No, no. Like I know one weekend I was one side of the town to the other side of the town, and then had this project to do, that project to do, and like with auditions, 3, 4 pages at once. It's a lot. And then sometimes I have to sacrifice sleep, and I love sleep. So that's a lot. But no, I don't always feel like it's always charged. But that's like you said earlier, we have to know what we can take. And when we're like, okay, you know what? I have too much on my plate. And so there was an audition that was coming up, and I wanted to do it, but I felt like I had too much on my plate. And I said, I'm not going to submit. I'm not going to sign up for this because I'm not going to be able to do it, or I'm a halfway do it. And I don't want to present myself as halfway doing something. I want someone to see me for my full potential. And you don't know that that wasn't my full potential, and you don't know what I had going on that week, but you just know what I present to you. So, yeah, it's definitely not always full. Right now, this is Monday. It is full. You know what? I'll say maybe 90. I'm a little sleepy. I'm gonna probably grab me a matcha when I'm done. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty full.
Girl, I'm telling you, we have to rejuvenate. We have to get ourselves back in the space of okay. Because when Monday rolls around, and I hate that we only get a 2-day weekend.
Me
I
too.
wish we could invent something where we make it like, okay, it goes on, and then when we're ready to jump right back into it, we can.
Mm-hmm.
But Mondays, finding that balance, getting right back into the habit and into the swing of things. And speaking
Mm-hmm.
of getting into the swing of things, let's talk about your projects, girlfriend. You've got Mommy's Perfect Match, which is out right now. Make sure you
Well,
guys
it
please
it'll,
go and
it'll be in theaters on the 15th, so it's not out right now.
okay.
Okay.
2025. You've got Followed, you've got Mission D, you've got so many other projects under your belt. You've got some more upcoming projects.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you looking forward to in the year of 2025? In the midst of all the chaos. And I take a lot of inspiration from the women that we talked about in the beginning of the show, like Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce, girl, you shocked us when you announced that tour. Now we got to rack up our coins
Uh
instead
huh.
of trying to hold on and save. You got gas and eggs going up. Now we got to
Mm-hmm.
try to hold on to our
Gotta
coins.
get
You trying to
ready.
get us, but I want to see her in tour. But I admire her business mindset.
Oh,
I
for sure.
admire her business
Yeah.
mindset as a woman and her creativity. One thing Beyonce is going to do is this woman is going to give you a visual,
She is.
and your jaws are going to be on the floor
Mm-hmm.
because she's so spectacular.
Yeah.
Like from the Christmas performance that she gave us. That I don't understand how she does it. We don't see sometimes we'll see the behind the scenes when she shares it in a
Mm-hmm.
documentary, but one thing I admire about this woman, and I make the comparison to you, Raven, because we're all three of us, we're all driven women. We
Mm-hmm.
go after our passions. It's nonstop with us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, we had the California wildfires. She put a pause on that. Snow
Very
was going on,
commendable.
all that. Like you said, everything was paused, and she bounced right back. And she said, "Okay, I got something for y'all." And she dropped that image with those beautiful braids, and she's like, okay, Cowboy Carter tour coming up. And then
Mm-hmm.
the Grammys happens yesterday. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like you said, it's all aligning. So
Yes.
for you, talking about projects, this ties into projects. 2025, what are you looking forward to this year?
So I'm really looking forward to the Studio 2 dropping. Just because the Studio Part 1, it had so much good feedback. And so I feel like the
Mm-hmm.
fans, they want it, they want to see it, and I want to see how it comes together. Even though I'm on the project, I have the full script. It's nothing like seeing it all come together. So yeah, I'm ready for that. I also have another project. I'm just ready for my projects, I guess, to come out. Both of them are features. But one of them, it was so like top secret, like Marvel. No one got the full script. So I don't even know what all is happening in here. So it will truly be a surprise for me to see. Um, that as well. And then I, as we were saying, you make goals for 2025. A friend and I, we made goals, and now we're trying to execute them and make sure we're doing things properly. And I just want to see where that'll get us, because, of course, we're not just doing this for fun. It is fun, but we do want to make a career out of this. So we're trying to see how can we take it a step further, and you know what can we do. So yeah, I'm just ready to see how that'll play out into 2025, and seeing how that'll help us. So yeah.
And it's all gonna come to fruition, girl. I'm telling you, it's gonna align, like you said, those stars aligning, all of these things happening. And I think it was, who was it? Was it Big Sean? Somebody took a picture of their mother or something on the red carpet, and it was during an interview. I think it was Big Sean, and he was just like, "Wow, I can't believe this happened to me, grandmother or my mom or whichever family member." I remember, I think it was him, and he took a picture out there on the red carpet. And he's just like, "This all aligned because she passed on this day."
Oh
So
wow.
things happen for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
God allows things to happen for a reason at a certain
Agreed.
day at a certain time. If it'll say 222, right now today is the third. So all of these things come to fruition. And they say three times lucky or three times the charm. Three times the charm. That's what they would
Mm-hmm.
say. So trust me, there's a meaning and an angel number.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about angel numbers.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
three is the good angel number. If you study astrology, and someone who was deep about that was Lisa Left Eye Lopez from TLC.
Mm-hmm.
Raven, when I tell you, she was on a whole nother level. Her
Mm-hmm.
thinking, her mindset, her and Tupac, as it pertains to angel numbers and the meaning behind them
Yeah.
and what they mean. There is power
There
in the number three.
is.
And
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce's birthday is on the fourth, correct, y'all?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there's power in the number four too. So, and the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
So it all aligns for a reason. And how
Mm-hmm.
she was breaking it down, I was watching her documentary before she passed, and she was saying, okay, connect this number to this number and this number to this number, and this is
Mm-hmm.
the highest number in this form and seven, and just her whole thinking,
Yeah.
her whole mindset. You'll have to go back and check it out. The last days of Left Eye, and
Yeah.
she was talking about how this number meant this is the highest form of self-wealth. And a lot of people are like, we're now in a day and age where everybody wants that instant wealth or gratification. And it's just like, some things that come to you so quickly don't mean all that well.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I'm gonna say it
agreed.
again, everything that glitters ain't gold. There's
Okay.
always a price behind it and attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
So read between those lines, between those numbers. I'm telling y'all,
Yep,
it's
I
something.
agree. I agree. And honestly, sometimes as fast as you can get it is
Mm,
as fast as it can be taken. And so appreciate the ride, the journey. It might be slow, it might, whatever the case is, but it's worth it. And it helps you to appreciate it once you have it.
absolutely. 100% precisely. Because a lot of people think, well, I got it now. And they rub it in other people's face that are trying to get there. But it's
Yep.
just like, have you done the work? And sometimes we go back and then we ask ourselves these questions. Have I done the work? And it goes
No,
back to that
seriously. Seriously, you have to think about that. Mm-hmm.
it goes back to being critical, and it also goes back to, okay, why am I critiquing myself so harshly?
Yeah.
Self
Yeah.
accountability. Self
Self
accountability.
sabotage. We can be the ones to sabotage ourselves.
And they'll say, oh no, I don't want to jinx it. It's just, well, don't jinx it.
Mm-hmm.
Taraji P. Henson. I'm dropping all the names because I watch so many motivational
Mm-hmm.
speeches and stuff, and I'm pretty sure you do too, because she posts a lot
Yeah.
of positive things on your
Mm-hmm.
page to keep people motivated, as well as myself.
Yeah.
But Taraji P. Henson, she said something about getting nominated for an award for Empire, and she was talking to Jimmy Fallon about it. And she said, I don't want to jinx it. Did you see the announcements? Because your friends, if you get nominated for an award, your friends or whoever in the team is, they'll call you and they'll let you know.
Mm-hmm.
But she's like, no, I didn't see it. I don't want to jinx it. So you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know. I agree.
And it goes back to jinxing things. We're already predicting the worst case
Yeah.
scenario to happen when it can
Mm-hmm.
also turn in our favor.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, manifest. The power of the tongue. So go ahead and claim it. Say it.
And
Speak
the
as if you
tongue
already have it, as of you've already done it. Whatever the case is.
is a very
It
powerful
is.
thing. And the thing about it is, if you put it out there in the universe, it'll come back to you twice times two and
Mm-hmm.
fold and then some.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put
That's
out
why.
good energy out there, make sure it's good energy.
Yes, agreed. That's why I'm always very careful with how I say things, because you do have to be intentional, and you don't want to. For example, I can't think of something I actually said, but I can think of something that I won't do. We have a place out here where people will take a photo and it's wings, like angel wings. I'm not taking a picture in front of those angel wings. I'm just not. Y'all not about to try to use that on my obituary or anything like that. No, no, no. I'm an angel of God for sure, but I'm not gonna take a picture. And I'm just trying to be intentional with things, like beautiful art, but mm-mm.
Absolutely. So again, instinct, gut intuition, when it's telling you, okay, it doesn't feel right, I won't do it. Listen
Mm-hmm.
to your gut and listen to your intuition because it can tell you a lot of things. And I doubted myself even with starting the beginning of this season, which was uh, January 1st is when I came back and I started back to doing interviews because I took a little hiatus during the Christmas holiday break last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back and I did my last interview on the
Okay.
31st, heading into the new year, December, coming into
Mm-hmm.
2025. And I said, oh, people are going to get tired of watching my interviews. They're going to get tired of seeing me go live every day and interview somebody. But when I came back, I was welcomed with so much love
Wow.
and admiration, new viewership. And I'm just like, thank you. You're taking time out of your day to watch me and my guests sit down and have
Mm-hmm.
a conversation. And you're engaging in it. And I've seen a difference.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
more and more engagement. People are engaging. People are opening up to me. I'm just like, you
Good.
don't know, and you're opening up to me. You're telling me your stories. And it literally would happen after an
Mm-hmm.
interview. It's be like, thank you for touching on this subject. I said, I didn't do anything. It was the guests that did it.
Yeah.
They're telling stories. And I tell people this all the time. When you come here, yes, I'm the pilot. I'm the head of that ship. But my guests are here. We rotate that seat because they're telling their story. So they get to steer the ship however they want to steer the
Mm-hmm.
ship. And I will
Yes.
be right there in the
That's true.
passenger seat, guiding them.
Because you can ask a question, and if someone's not willing to share, for whatever reason, they don't have to, or, so it's a two-way street. But of course, without you, we wouldn't even be on the platform to tell the story. So, like you said, two-way ship. So,
Absolutely. And I want people to know that. Don't be afraid to share your story. Don't be afraid to tell your
you
truth.
never know
Get it out
who it
there.
can help. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this was an amazing conversation. And I hope you all took something away from this. So Raymond, before we let you go, um, Dochi, and I'm pretty sure we didn't get a chance to talk about Dochi, but Dochi said something that was powerful yesterday at the Grammys. And how do you feel about what she said? She said, Black women, we don't oftentimes get recognized. I want Black girls and young Black women to walk away feeling like even when you're told no, you're still great. Because we live in a day and age where everything is about value and how much does she value? How much does she do this? How much does she do that? Can't she work? And we start tearing our own selves down because we don't realize our self worth. What Doechii said at the Grammys yesterday was powerful.
It was.
And what were your thoughts on it? Just hearing her mouth it. She was
Oh,
just taken aback, just happy that she won the award, the
yes.
joy and excitement.
Honestly, it really touched me. I definitely got teary eyed because with
Mm,
me being someone who's trying to get into the entertainment industry, I would love to be there. And of course, unfortunately, we're always being judged. And with her being a darker woman, she brought that up as well. Like, yo, you're too black. You're this and that. It's always some reason why what can be put against you. But think of all the reasons why you should do something. And it's funny. I literally posted the clip of her acceptance speech on my stories because I really did like it. And she said to pretty much, keep going. Don't let anyone tell you no. And so I'm gonna keep going for it. I loved it. I loved it. Yeah.
And she says, I know there are some black girl out there, so many black women out here
That was it.
who are watching me right now. And I want to tell you,
Listening.
you can do it. Anything is
Hmm.
possible. And you're raising young black women. So for your daughters, we talk a lot about legacy. What is something that you want to leave for your girls?
Honestly, I'm gonna shoot for the stars.
Mm,
I would like to leave them with everything. I wouldn't want them to have to go through all of the things that I've been through financially. And I want them to know that they have the courage to do anything that they put their mind to and do what you love. And honestly, I feel as though I'm already teaching them that. They both act as well, but they both can see the sacrifice. And what they told me that they like about me, and of course, me being their mom, is that they were like, you have a dream, but you're still going for it. Like, no matter what. I'm not just going to let society tell me I can't do this or do that for whatever reason. And I want them to know that too. Like, and I told them, y'all can do whatever it is you want to do. But whatever it is that you want to do, you have to train for it in some type of capacity. If you're going to be a basketball player, you can't just go
mm,
out on the NBA floor and shoot the ball. You have to train. It's steps and it's levels to this and appreciate everything. And people aren't always going to love you. And sometimes people are going to fake like they love you. But you have to be willing to see what that is. But yeah, I just would like to leave with them to go ahead and have the knowledge to know that they can do whatever that it is that they want to do in this world.
absolutely. Absolutely. So before we let you go, we have two things we're going to do, Fashion Dolls. Black History is Black History Month, so I'm going to give you guys the Black History Month fact and the final thought. But before we get to that, Raven, any words of encouragement that you would like to give to young black women watching us on my platform? What words of encouragement
Yes,
would you give them?
I would say this: do not let yourself get in the way of whatever it is that you want to do, because it's easier to quit than it is
Yes.
to start. And starting anything, whatever capacity, starting your own business, it's not going to be easy, and that's why everybody's not trying to do it because it's easy. So go ahead and prepare your mind frame for whatever it is that you want to do and do it. Don't let yourself get in the way of it. Have fun while you're doing it. Because even if you don't do it, 30 years from now, you're going to be saying, well, what if? Instead of, I did.
Mm, I absolutely agree. And today's final thought, Fashion Dolls. Before we get to that, I'm Black History Fast Fact. So today's Black History Month fact is the Georgia Infirmary, which was the first hospital for African Americans, and it was built in the United States and chartered on December 24th, 1832, for the relief
Oh,
and protection of aged and afflicted Africans. Now, it was established by the Georgia General Assembly and funded by $10,000 grants for the estate of Thomas F. Williams. So today in Black History Month, we pay honor to the Georgia Infirmary. Now, this is what we need to be doing in these times. And as Raven said, starting your business is not going to be easy, especially for you being Black. You're going to have a lot of challenges come your way. But the thing is, if you want to start a business, do it. Get into healthcare, get into medicine, get into whatever field you feel makes you feel good, and follow your heart's desires. And I tell you guys this all the time: live life through passion, live life
mm,
through fire, live life through
mm,
fire. And our mothers have raised us that if you have a desire or a passion, you go after it. You don't let anybody deter you or stop you from following your heart's desires in
mm,
favor. And I want you guys to remember that. So today's final thought comes from Viola Davis,
mm.
and she says, you can't be hesitant about who you are.
I love it.
So
I
I
love
want y'all to
that.
remember, love it. And I had a great time with you. We got to have you back on the show,
I would love
Raven.
it. Thank you so much for having me.
You are so welcome. And the film you says drops on the 15th of this month.
Yes.
Mommy's Perfect Match. Make sure you guys please go and check it out. Let everyone know where they can follow you, girl, because I'm definitely going to have you back on the show.
Thank you. You can follow me on Instagram. My name is Raven Nicole Thurman.
Right, fashion dolls, there you have it. And I hope you guys took something insightful and great away from our conversation, our girl talk today. Again, just something to take your mind off of everything that's going on in the world. Sometimes you need to unplug, you need an escape. And if I can be that outlet for you to kind of just venture off and just have an escape, I'm going to continue to keep doing it. Joining me tomorrow is Two Show Tuesday. I just started that. I came up with the name yesterday. Two Show Tuesday. We've got at 3 p.m. we have Ali Muhammad joins me, and at 4 p.m. we have LeJohn Stewart. So we will see you guys tomorrow. And head on over and subscribe to Style by Stevie Daytime on YouTube if you have not, so you can catch the full conversation with me and the beautiful Raven Nicole Thurman here from my girl talk today. And Raven, as always, I had a great time. Nice meeting you, and I would love to have you back on again.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome, gorgeous, and you have an amazing Monday.
You too. And have a great week. Bye.
You too. Bye bye.